The eyes of a nation are on the state of Texas as primary elections wrap up. Coming up, the latest results from local and statewide elections.
And 1 year ago, two massive fires tore through Sinton neighborhoods. This morning, we look back at the devastation and forward to the fight to rebuild. Chris 6 Sunrise starts now.
Well, hey there. Good Wednesday morning, everyone. You are watching Chris 6 Sunrise, waking up with the Hoffmans today. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, we hope you all got a chance to get out and vote yesterday. We'll have a look at the results in just a minute. But first, let's check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones. He has a look at the weather and roads this morning. Hey, good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, not looking like too bad of a morning. We're even warmer than yesterday. Almost all of us are waking up to the 70s. And luckily, those winds have come down just a little bit from yesterday afternoon, at least. But here's a live view from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam. Thanks to Matthew's CCAC, 73 degrees over here by the Laguna Madre, and winds out of the southeast 14 miles an hour. And as you can see, the causeway traffic flowing nice and smooth along it so far. Haven't been tracking any of those major slowdowns, but as we look at SPID, just a few more cars on that roadway, and really the same story of none of those slowdowns as of right now. Across the board, most of us waking up to the 70s, with only Falfurrias coming in about 69 degrees, but wind-wise, we're sitting at southeasterly winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, and as we go through the rest of our Wednesday, we're going to see those temperatures rise right back up into the 80s, and winds also rise back up into that 20 to 30 mile an hour range, with the peak gusts even upwards of 40 miles an hour at times. So just prepare for another windy day, and really that's almost on a rinse and repeat as we go through Friday. Here's how our traffic is flowing right now, looking good and green out there, no major slowdowns. So if you're getting ready to head out the door, it is a good and green Wednesday morning.
Stephen, thank you so much. As you can imagine, it was a big night for Texas as the March primaries came to an end. Last night's votes determined who will be on the ballot this November for the midterms.
That is right. The eyes of the country were on our state last night because of the Senate primaries. On the Republican side, incumbent Senator John Cornyn is headed to a runoff, actually, with Attorney General Ken Paxton. Those two were separated by just over 23,000 votes, but neither crossed the 50% threshold.
Cornyn has argued that Paxton is a liability for Republicans because of the scandals that have followed him. He was impeached by the Texas House in 2023, but later acquitted. He's also involved in a pretty messy divorce, but Paxton still has a pull with Republicans and is very close to President Trump.
Ken Paxton is engaged in a vanity project. He doesn't really care about what happens to the Republican Party or down ballot to these races, but I guarantee President Trump cares.
Now, President Trump, I should note, did not endorse any of the Republican candidates. He instead said that he likes all three.
And you know, whoever wins that Republican runoff will face Democratic State Representative James Tallarico. He won the Democratic primary over Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett with 53% of the votes. Tallarico will try to be the first Democrat in nearly 4 decades to win a U.S. Senate seat in Texas.
We are not just trying to win an election. We are trying to fundamentally change our politics, and it's working.
Now let's narrow down the focus to some of the other big races. Congressman Vicente Gonzalez wins the Democratic primary for District 34. He defeated Etnie Rosas with just under 63% of the vote.
Now, the field for District 34 Republican primary was a bit more crowded, but Eric Flores won easily with nearly 57% of the vote, well ahead of Myra Flores. Flores was President Trump's endorsed candidate in this primary.
Now heading over to the Congressional District 27, on the Democratic side, longtime public school teacher Tanya Lloyd wins that nomination in a landslide with just over 63% of the vote. She will take on Congressman Michael Cloud, who ran away with his primary with almost 73% of the votes.
Now, there was a steady flow of voters at locations like Hilltop Community Center. Elections officials say that there were no major problems reported, but warned voters about fraudulent text messages reading voter registration status. And officials say they are not legitimate. Just before the primary, early voting numbers were higher than last cycle. More than 30,000 ballots, about 14%, were cast during that time.
So 14% doesn't sound like a lot to start with, but it does tell us that people are active and they are interested and they are concerned about what's going on in politics in Texas. No, we can't specify or say exactly why they're turning out, but something has gone on that has activated these voters that traditionally may have stepped aside or preferred not to cast their ballot.
Now, speaking of which, Democrats actually held a slight edge in early voting, casting just over 16,000 ballots. That's compared to about 14,000 Republican votes.
Over in Dallas, hundreds of voters were turned away from polling places due to new Election Day precinct rules. In the past, voters could cast their ballots at any vote center in Dallas County, but a Republican-led initiative changed the rules. Now voters must cast ballots in their own precinct. The confusion led to polls staying open an extra 2 hours.
Also seeing a large turnout was over in Houston, Irving, and San Antonio. In Houston, long lines were seen as polls closed. Last-minute arrivals were turned away. Voters cast their ballots in one of the most closely watched Senate primaries in the country.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank, we've got the aquarium and the harbor bridge both nice and lit up for our Wednesday morning. Temperature-wise, we're waking up pretty comfortable at 74 degrees and winds out of the southeast about 11 miles an hour so far, so not too much to complain about for our Wednesday morning. Let's take a closer look with our Chris 6 Neighborhood Weather Network at some of those temperatures on the south side. Waking up to 74 degrees on Pebble Beach Drive, and we're matching that over on Garden Court. 73 on Bent Trail Drive and Wind Willow Drive this morning there on the south side. But as we work just a little bit further north, Portland coming in at 73 across the board from Willow Drive over there also into Oakland Hills this morning so far. As you're getting ready, waking up for that bus stop forecast, heading into the 7 a.m. drop-off, should only be another degree or two down into those lower 70s, but by that 3 p.m. pickup, things are going to warm up and get windy out there once again. 84 degrees, if not 85 for our daytime high. Winds sustained about 20 to 25 miles an hour, but keep in mind our wind gusts are going to get higher than that. But first I want to focus on those forecast highs around your neighborhoods. As you work your way out to the west where it's just slightly drier in terms of those relative humidity indices, that helps you get up even to the 90s in terms of your actual air temperature. Areas towards Freer, Hebronville, and potentially Falfurrias is hitting that 90-degree mark for the daytime high. Closer to the coast, coming in a little cooler in those upper 70s for Port Aransas and Aransas Pass later today. Now when we're focusing on those winds, they are going to get gusty this afternoon into the evening, mainly peaking around dinner time and just before it, getting upwards of 30 to 35 miles an hour there by 4 p.m. before slowly coming back down as we go into the overnight hours, but probably not even going to come down as much as it did tonight. One thing that we are looking forward to is going to be the weekend, of course, but the other thing about the weekend, we are actually going to have some rain back on the board for that 7-day forecast. You probably don't need the umbrella with you this week, but as we roll into Saturday, Sunday, and especially into that first half of next week, we're going to have some more upper level energy working back into the area and some sustained rain chances, it looks like, and potentially even a good ½ of an inch to an inch of rain when everything is all said and done by next week. So how it all shapes up on our 7-day forecast, pretty much 80s and upper 60s almost on that rinse and repeat pattern. Windy afternoons to finish off the week with scattered thunderstorms as we kick off spring break and hold that activity into the first half of next week.
Well, when it comes to our Running Dry series, you asked and we answered why fire hydrants need to be cracked open even with our looming water crisis. That's ahead.
Now, say hello to your neighbors. This is your Chris 6 News Sunrise Shoutouts.
Hello, Chris 6 Sunrise team. We're the Roy Miller High School Theater Department, and we want to wish our neighbors across the Coastal Bend a great morning and a great day.
You know, this is the best way to start our day, right? Good vibes, some positivity. We appreciate this shout out, folks. And folks, if you want to send us your own shout out video too, just do what they did and make sure you scan the QR code on your screen or head to our website, christv.com.
We are continuing to answer your questions and concerns that you have about our water crisis right here in the Coastal Bend. This week's question asks, with our current water restrictions, why is the city throwing out gallons of water from fire hydrants? Well, according to the Corpus Christi Fire Department, it's more than meets the eye. I spoke with Fire Marshal Tony Perez for an explanation.
We actually go out and make sure that there's water at the hydrants.
Perez tells me that firefighters each and every year check in on every fire hydrant in a partnership with Corpus Christi Water. Now, before the drought and any water restrictions, that meant opening up the hydrants fully, about 16 turns, spending hundreds of gallons of water to clear away debris, check pressure, and clear out rust. But now, because of the current water restrictions, they've changed tactics. Instead of fully flowing the hydrants, they're just cracking it a little bit, just enough to make sure that there is water and water pressure in the line, and then turning it off immediately. And that process only releases a minimal amount of water. And it's pretty interesting. Hydrants are actually dry until firefighters crack them open to ensure that there is flowing water in case of emergency. And that check is critical. So usually a fire engine can carry between 500 and 750 gallons of water, but that runs out quickly. And if they need the resources, go to a fire hydrant and find out that it's dry, well, that could be a problem for everyone. Now, these checks actually allow the crews to detect any cracks or leaks underground, which would continuously waste water. You may also see hydrants flowing for maintenance by Corpus Christi Water. In certain dead-end lines, water has to be flushed out periodically to prevent stagnation and maintain water quality. But hey, if you happen to see any hydrants flowing without any crews there, you're asked to call up Corpus Christi Fire or Corpus Christi Water just in case. That way they can take care of it. And so while it may appear like water is being wasted, what they're really doing is ensuring that there is enough water in case of emergencies, and it is drastically less than what they were doing before we had any type of water restrictions. I hope that helps answer your question, and if you happen to have any more questions about our water crisis, make sure to send us a message and we'll put it in this next Running Dry segment.
Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend, taking a live view from our studio Skycam now. You can see the Harbor Bridge and downtown both in view, and you can definitely notice the moisture in our atmosphere, but luckily the winds haven't calmed down enough. We've seen only 11 miles an hour so far, steering away any of that fog that would probably otherwise develop right now. As we've gone over the past 10 hours, it has been a slow cool down, though we've had a lot of cloud cover overhead acting like a blanket pretty much for our atmosphere. We've been at 74 degrees almost across the board. It looks like we read 72 there at 11 p.m. just briefly, but other than that, really haven't seen too much of a change in terms of those temperatures. Here's where we're waking up so far this morning. The cool spot is going to be off towards the south. Falfurrias is coming in at 69 degrees so far, but the rest of us are waking up to the 70s. 74 here in Corpus Christi, 73 for Rockport, Beeville, and even into areas over towards the Naval Air Station so far this morning. As we go through the next few hours, we will once again be on the warm-up after we see that sunrise come out. 75 by 9 a.m., up into the 80s by that late morning time frame by 11 a.m. and winds also starting to pick up around that time, about 20 to 25 miles an hour, and once again going to be a breezy afternoon for the Coastal Bend. That's exactly what we're expecting, with daytime highs about 85 degrees here in Corpus Christi by tonight. Those upper 60s with once again plenty of cloud cover and likely to still stay a little bit breezy out there, so I'm not forecasting too much fog tomorrow morning, but once again about a rinse and repeat heading into tomorrow. 84 degrees for that daytime high and another breezy afternoon on the way. But I'm definitely looking forward to the weekend, not only for it being the weekend, but for the rain chances that it's going to bring to the Coastal Bend. By the time we're looking at the upper level pattern Friday, Saturday into Sunday, we see this trough deepening into the western United States, and it's going to put us in a pretty good pattern here in the Lone Star State with that Pacific moisture flowing overhead and some waves of energy it's going to send our way starting by Saturday night into next week and leading to some decent rain chances. So here's one of our longer range future trackers going into Saturday and Sunday. You can see more of those greens and yellows making their return to the radar as we're rolling through the weekend. Of course, as we roll through the next 72 hours, we'll get more of those high resolution models to show you, but for now, just keep in mind we're going to see some decent rain chances and hold that activity into next week. So how it's all shaping up on the 7-day forecast: partly cloudy and breezy afternoons as we're finishing off the first week of March, kicking off spring break for CCISD this weekend. We see that scattered thunderstorm activity and hold on to it in through Wednesday of next week.
The Sinton fires left destruction behind, but the community refused to give up. 1 year later, we take a look at what was lost and how neighbors are fighting their way back.
Welcome back, folks. So today marks 1 year since two fires erupted in Sinton. The Welder Fire and the Railway Fire. The Welder Fire was a result of a downed power line, and the Railway Fire was likely started by a lit cigarette. That's according to officials. In total, the fires burned over 800 acres of land, destroying 26 homes. Tens of those homes were on Hampton Street. 38 adults and 31 children were displaced.
As you can imagine, 1 year later, for many in Sinton, the memories still feel fresh. Neighborhood News reporter Adam Beam spoke with Sinton resident and former firefighter Clemente Sanchez, who was actually out there fighting the flames that day. His house was still standing when it was all over, but it didn't come out untouched. There was fire and water damage. Then just days later, another setback. Someone broke in and stole from his damaged home. But Sanchez says despite everything, there's one reason he's been able to move forward.
And the people that live here, they stepped up for me, not just because I'm a firefighter, because I am part of this community.
Several community members also came together to help the fire victims rebuild. On April 11th, 2025, Steel Dynamics and the United Way even presented families with checks to the fire victims.
Well, hey there, and happy Wednesday, Coastal Bend. Taking a live view from our SPID Skycam, you can see traffic flowing nice and smooth there along SPID. Not tracking any slowdowns so far, but definitely tracking some warmer than average temperatures. All of us waking up to 70s across the board. 70 in Hebbronville right now, 74 here in Corpus Christi, with winds out of the southeast for all of us about 5 to 15 miles an hour. But those are going to come up once again into the afternoon. So are our temperatures. We're going to see those 80s return by the 11 a.m. hour and hold on to the mid-80s for some of those daytime highs here in Corpus Christi. Sustained winds out of the southeast, 20 to 25 miles an hour, but keep in mind gusts are going to get upwards of 35 miles an hour once again. When we're looking at that current traffic flow, not tracking any slowdowns on the Harbor Bridge if you're heading to or from Portland this morning. For our major roadways here in Corpus Christi, more of that same story, looking good and green. And as we work just a little bit further inland, good morning to you in Sinton. Also not tracking any of those slowdowns, so far setting up for a good and green Wednesday morning. Well, good Wednesday morning there, Coastal Bend. I'm meteorologist Stephen Jones. Taking a live view from our USS Lexington cam, thanks to First Community Bank. We've got the aquarium and the Harbor Bridge both nice and lit up for our Wednesday morning. Temperature's pretty comfortable so far out there, waking up to 74 degrees. Winds out of the southeast at 13 miles an hour, providing a little bit of a breeze also. And the sunrise from just a couple mornings ago and probably this morning also pretty beautiful out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at this photo. Thank you to Avelino Valadez for sending this one in from A&M Kingsville over there, and just a gorgeous sunrise if you ask me. If you're able to get any good shots like this one, go on, take a quick picture and send it into our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. We'd absolutely love to see it. Might find yours featured on here, and even if you aren't already in that group, you're just going to see some wonderful photos in there also. For our temperatures across the board, waking up to the 70s. Falfurrias now up to 71 degrees, and we're matching that for Freer and Hebbronville so far. Along the coast, coming in at 73 for the Naval Air Station and matching that over into Rockport and also off towards the north in Beeville so far. For our dog walking forecast today, we've got Tater Tot Johnson on the board, looking ready for his walk over there by West Guth Park, and I think he's going to be a fan of the weather today, maybe just not those winds as we go into the afternoon. By 10 a.m., expecting 78 degrees up to 82 by 12 p.m., that noon hour, and as we go into the afternoon, that's where we really start to see the winds increase on the board, upwards of 20 to 25 miles an hour, and gusts, unfortunately, are going to get quite a bit higher than that, but also the temperatures even higher as you work out towards the west. Some areas towards Hebbronville and Falfurrias, upwards of that 90-degree mark for your daytime high. Here in Corpus Christi, forecasting 85, with areas closer to the coast like Aransas Pass and Port Aransas, maybe that 80-degree mark, if not even the upper 70s this afternoon. But one thing we will notice is going to be those breezy winds, and unfortunately it's going to remain with us as we're going through Thursday, Friday, and even into Saturday. Luckily, it does look like Saturday it should start to come down after that point a little bit, but still just plan for a few breezy days in your forecast ahead. As we're looking towards the weekend, though, getting ready for that first weekend of spring break for CCISD, this is where we're going to look at the upper level pattern for some rain chances returning to the board. We're going to see this deepening upper level trough off towards the western United States, and what this is going to mean for the Lone Star State, it's going to set us up in a pretty good flow for some Pacific moisture to work overhead and also some waves of energy it's going to send our way. So starting Saturday night and in through Sunday, Monday, and even through the first half of next week, looks like we're going to be holding on to some decent rain chances across the area. So don't think you're going to need that umbrella for this work week at least, but by this weekend into next week, I wouldn't put it too far away. We're going to start to see more of that widely scattered activity make its return to the board. And in terms of rainfall totals, we're going to be seeing some decent ones. The latest guidance has us about maybe a half of an inch to an inch. Now, I will say today's model guidance is a little bit more aggressive with some of these rainfall totals, but either way, looking like a good drink of water for the area. And how it all shapes up on our 7-day forecast, plenty of 80s and 60s for those overnight lows, windy afternoons, and then the scattered thunderstorms we're all looking forward to this weekend and into the first half of next week.
As the war in the Middle East continues, we're seeing the impacts from the war right here in the coastal bend, how it's affecting gas prices this morning. As the U.S.-Israeli war continues, a source said Israel struck the compound of a group set to choose Iran's new supreme leader. Iranian state media said the building was evacuated before the attack. That strike was one of many in the ongoing war.
It's a lot of different things here that need to happen in order to move people.
Secretary of State Marco Rubio on Tuesday addressing the issue of Americans stranded in the Middle East as the ongoing U.S.-Israeli war with Iran expands across the region.
It'll be a variety of methods: charter flights, military flights and transports, expanded commercial opportunities, and in some cases land routes that will allow them to go to neighboring countries.
The Trump administration facing criticism, including from some stranded Americans. President Donald Trump suggesting Tuesday there was no evacuation plan in place because the war unfolded too quickly. Officials are urging Americans to contact the State Department if they are stuck overseas and need help.
It all starts by knowing that where you are and how we can get a hold of you.
This comes amid continuing attacks on Iran and more retaliatory attacks by Iran on Israel and against countries throughout the Middle East, including a U.S. consulate in Dubai and an airbase in Qatar, where officials say an Iranian ballistic missile struck the largest U.S. military installation in the region. There were no casualties. Meanwhile, sources say the CIA is working to arm Kurdish forces who have operations along the Iraq-Iran border with the goal of sparking an uprising in Iran. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
So Iran, like I told you yesterday, has closed the Strait of Hormuz. That seized 20% of the world's oil supply. So oil prices are going up, which means you're going to pay more at the pump. I'm doing this special edition of Gas Tracker just to show you the difference just since Monday. So let's take a look at the averages. According to GasBuddy, national average is $3.19. That is up by a massive 24 cents since Monday. In just 2 days, folks. That's Lone Star State, $2.78, up by 28 cents since Monday. And while we usually do better here in the Coastal Bend, look at that, $2.94 is an average, up by a whopping 39 cents since Monday. As for Corpus Christi proper, it's a bit harder to find the cheapest price, as most of them are reporting $2.99 or more, and they are constantly changing just in the last couple of hours. But as of 4 to 5 hours ago, Sunoco's price on 3rd Street was the cheapest at $2.65. As for our Portland friends, cheapest price is $2.99 at more than half of the stations, although those have not been updated for more than 8 hours. So be prepared for an increase in prices just heading out the door. And if you are out there on the island, $2.99 is also the cheapest price at the Circle K right when you get onto the island from Flower Bluff on SPID. But watch out for price increases there, as especially that Circle K is known to increase their prices in the morning. And really, that can be said all day long. If you can find cheaper prices than these guys, because they will fluctuate, and I expect them to be even more expensive tomorrow, you might want to stop and fill up. I have all these prices posted on our website, christv.com.
Well, hey there and happy Wednesday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our Snoopy's Piers Skycam thanks to Matthew CCAC. Fairly cloudy out there and the causeway in view, just a couple of cars on it right now, but temperature-wise, we're fairly comfortable at 73 degrees. Probably don't even need that jacket with you as you're heading out this morning, and definitely not this afternoon. We are going to be on the warm-up once again. As we're looking at those temperatures in your neighborhood across the board in the 70s, 73 for Beeville, and we're matching that into areas towards Rockport and Alice and even into the Naval Naval Air Station so far this morning. Wind-wise, we're coming in about 5 to 15 miles an hour as you get closer to the coast, and luckily that wind that is still a little bit up there is steering away any fog that probably would otherwise develop, since we do have a good amount of moisture in our atmosphere right now. Through the rest of our Wednesday, we're once again going to be on the warm-up. More of that sunshine comes out into the afternoon. The 80s make their return already by 11 a.m. and by the 3 to 4 p.m. hour, expecting about 85 here in Corpus Christi, but keep in mind that's going to feel like about 90 degrees out there. Winds are going to be out of the southeast 20 to 25 miles an hour, gusting upwards of 35 miles an hour, and through the next few days we're almost on that rinse and repeat pattern with the 80s for daytime highs, breezy afternoons on the way, but you can see just a slight dip there in the temperature trend by the weekend. That's going to be thanks to a little bit of rain on the way as we're heading through the next 6 to 10 days. I'll break down more on those precipitation chances coming up in our full 7-day forecast.
All eyes are on the state of Texas as the primary elections wrap up. Coming up, the latest results from local and statewide elections.
As the March primaries come to an end, we're taking a look at some key local races. I'm Stephanie Molina with a look at the Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 2 race for the Democratic Party.
Now, 20 minutes of nonstop news, sponsored by Ewald Kubota.
Hey there, welcome back, folks. Thank you so much for joining us for our 20 minutes of nonstop news with the Hoffmans. I'm Brian Hoffman.
And I'm Michelle Hoffman. Folks, you just saw we have plenty of neighborhood news for you this morning and a look at the results from the election last night. But first, we got to check in with meteorologist Stephen Jones to see how the roadways and the forecast is looking this morning. Hey, good morning, Stephen.
Morning.
Well, good morning, you guys. You know, I think it's looking just about perfect this morning. Maybe a little warm for some folks as we're just starting off March, but we are waking up to the 70s out there so far. 73 degrees on the board. Here's a live view from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam thanks to Matthews CCAC. Winds out of the southeast 16 miles an hour. Not quite what we saw yesterday afternoon, but those gusty winds are on the way once again later today. As we're looking at our SPID Skycam, you can see not tracking any of those major slowdowns so far this morning, just the warm temperatures we've been talking about. Across the board, we've been waking up to the 70s so far this morning, 71 in Hebbronville, 72 for Port Aransas, with winds all of us also out of the southeast this morning. But luckily, since it's not quite 0 to 5 miles an hour, it's steering away any fog that we'd likely see develop otherwise. Through the rest of our Wednesday, once again on the warm-up across the coastal bend, 84 to 85 degrees for that daytime high here in Corpus Christi with a windy afternoon on the way. And if you're getting ready to head out the door, like we talked about, not tracking any major slowdowns, just setting up for a good and green Wednesday morning.
Stephen, thank you so much. It was a big night for Texas as the March primaries came to an end. Last night's votes determined who will be on the ballot this November for the midterms.
That is right, and all eyes of the country were on our state last night because of the state primaries. Now, on the Republican side, incumbent Senator John Cornyn is headed to a runoff with Attorney General Ken Paxton. Those two were separated by just over 23,000 votes, but neither one crossed the 50% threshold.
Cornyn has argued that Paxton is a liability for Republicans because of the scandals that have followed him. He was impeached by the Texas House in 2023, but later acquitted. He's also involved in a pretty messy divorce. But Paxton still has pull with Republicans and is very close to President Trump.
Ken Paxton is engaged in a vanity project. He doesn't really care about what happens to the Republican Party or down ballot to these races, but I guarantee President Trump cares.
However, President Trump did not endorse any of the Republican candidates. He said he likes all three.
Whoever wins that Republican runoff will face Democratic State Representative James Tallarico. He won the Democratic primary over Congresswoman Jasmine Crockett with 53% of the votes. Tallarico will try to be the first Democrat in nearly 4 decades to win a U.S. Senate seat in Texas.
We are not just trying to win an election. We are trying to fundamentally change our politics. And it's working.
Now, let's narrow down the focus to some of the other big races. Congressman Vicente Gonzalez wins the Democratic primary for District 34. He defeated Etienne Rosas with just under 63% of the vote.
Now, the field for District 34 Republican primary was a bit more crowded, but Eric Flores won easily with nearly 57% of the vote, well ahead of Mayra Flores. Flores was President Trump's endorsed candidate, I should say, in this primary.
Heading over to Congressional District 27 on the Democratic side, longtime public school teacher Tanya Lloyd wins that nomination in a landslide with just over 63% of the vote. She will take on Congressman Michael Cloud, who ran away with his primary with almost 73% of the vote. Now, Texas State Representative Gina Hinojosa is the winner in the Democratic primary for governor.
That's right. Hinojosa represents a district in Austin, and she was first elected in 2017. And she was part of the group of Democrats that left Texas last August to try to stall passage of the GOP's new congressional maps. Hinojosa faced tall odds to try to topple Abbott in the Texas governor's race.
Yeah, because Governor Greg Abbott is projected to, he won the Republican primary in the governor's race. Abbott is going for a fourth term to lead the Lone Star State, which would make history.
We are going to stand for what Texas stands for, and we are going to fight and unite, and we're going to win this election. With your help, working every single day, we will keep Texas, Texas.
The incumbent has a campaign war chest of more than $100 million and is expected to be favored in November's general election. Texas hasn't elected a Democrat statewide since 1994.
I'm Stephanie Molina, your neighborhood news reporter at the Nueces County Courthouse. As the March primaries come to an end, one of the races that drew attention is the Nueces County Commissioner Precinct 2 seat for the Democratic Party.
3 candidates had their eyes on the seat: incumbent Joe A. Gonzalez, or JAG, Isabel Noyola Martin, and Mark Gonzalez. At last check, Isabel appeared to have lead the race. We had the chance to speak with her at her watch party Tuesday night.
We have a golden opportunity to unite behind a candidate that asked for the opportunity to serve, to bring new leadership, new representation to Nueces County. And I think we have an opportunity to do that.
We did reach out over the phone to JAG on his comments on the result, but as of late Tuesday night, we have not heard back.
For all of your election results, keep it right here and on KrisTV.com. In Nueces County, I'm Stephanie Molina, KRIS 6 News.
Stephanie, thank you so much. We're also keeping an eye on the Justice of the Peace race. This is for the Democratic ballot for Precinct 1, Place 3. Now, incumbent Lucio Rubio is facing off against Ben Benavidez. Right now, it appears that Rubio is leading the race.
And there was a steady flow of voters at locations like the Hilltop Community Center. Election officials say there were no major problems reported, but voters were warned about fraudulent text messages regarding voter registration status. Officials say they were not legitimate. Just before the primary, early voting numbers were higher than last cycle. More than 30,000 ballots, about 14%, were cast during that time.
So 14% doesn't sound like a lot to start with, but it does tell us that people are active and they are interested and they are concerned about what's going on in politics in Texas. We can't specify or say exactly why they're turning out, but something has gone on that has activated these voters that traditionally may have stepped aside or preferred not to cast their ballot.
Democrats held a slight edge in early voting, casting just over 16,000 ballots compared to about 14,000 Republican votes.
Over in Dallas, hundreds of voters were actually turned away from polling places. This is due to new Election Day precinct rules. In the past, voters could cast their ballots at any vote center in Dallas County, but a Republican-led initiative changed that rule. Now voters must cast ballots in their own precinct. The confusion led to polls staying open an extra 2 hours. Also seeing a large turnout was over in Houston, Irving, and San Antonio. In Houston, the long lines were seen as the polls closed. Last-minute arrivals, they were turned away. Voters cast their ballots in one of the most closely watched Senate primaries in the country.
Well, howdy and happy Wednesday. Coastal Bend taking a live view from our studio Skycam. You can see downtown in the view, but a cloudy morning on our hands so far. Also a warm morning, though. Probably don't need that jacket with you since we're sitting at 74 degrees. Winds are out of the southeast about 13 miles an hour right now, and across the board we're waking up to the 70s across the Coastal Bend. Cotulla off to the northwest coming in at 69 degrees, but then 71 in Freer and George West, 74 for Robstown, Kingsville here in Corpus Christi, and even 73 for areas towards the Naval Air Station and Rockport so far this morning. As we're getting ready for that bus stop forecast, we're looking at the lower 70s for that 7 a.m. drop-off just here in a few minutes, and by 3 p.m. this afternoon on the warm-up and seeing those winds also on the increase. Should see 85 degrees or so for that daytime high later this afternoon, and winds out of the southeast about 20 to 25 miles an hour. Keep in mind, of course, that's our sustained wind. Some of those gusts going to get even higher than that. Forecast highs, though, as you work your way to the west just a little bit, you start to see a slight reduction in some of that relative humidity value. That's going to help your air temperatures actually get up into those lower 90s for the daytime high this afternoon versus closer to the coast where you have quite a bit more moisture in that atmosphere. A little cooler out there, closer to 80 degrees for that daytime high in areas towards Port Aransas into Rockport. But when we're looking at those wind gusts, they should continue to climb as we're going through the afternoon, peaking just before dinner time, closer to 3 to 4 p.m., about 30 to 35 miles an hour. But keep in mind, even some of the model guidance has it getting as high as 40 miles an hour. So if it's your trash day, likely to see that blown down just a couple of doors later today. As we roll into the weekend, though, this is what we're getting excited for. The rain chances working back in, and it's all going to be thanks to this upper-level trough that starts to deepen into the western United States, puts the Lone Star State and South Texas in a pretty good position for some of that Pacific moisture and some waves of energy from that system to start flowing overhead. What that's going to mean, some good rain chances working in by the weekend, starting Saturday night, going into Sunday, and you can see that here on one of our longer-range future trackers. Of course, over the next 48 to 72 hours, more high-resolution guidance will come available. But as we go into the weekend, looking like we could have some more of that scattered thunderstorm activity and a good drink of water for the coastal bend, potentially as high as half an inch and an inch in some of those higher totals where you get better downpours out there. But like I said, of course, we got to wait for some of that higher resolution guidance to get into here. For now, the 7-day forecast showing breezy afternoons through Friday before we kick off spring break with that scattered thunderstorm activity this weekend.
Now, 6 things to know before you go.
Today is the first anniversary of the wildfires in Sinton. The fires destroyed 26 homes. 10 of those homes were on Hamilton Street. 38 adults and 31 children were displaced. Several communities came together to help the fire victims rebuild. On April 11th, 2025, Steel Dynamics and the United Way presented families with checks.
Later on today, Gregory Portland ISD is expected to open their new Operations and Family Resource Center. This will be located next to the Stephen F. Austin Elementary School. The funds for the project comes from Bond 2023. The facility will house transportation, maintenance, and will also serve as the home of the Wildcat Food Pantry.
Today will be another day of testimony on Capitol Hill for Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, this time in front of House lawmakers. The House Judiciary Committee will question Noem about the current DHS shutdown. Yesterday, questions from senators focused on the deaths of 2 U.S. citizens killed by immigration officers in Minneapolis. Noem's leadership was criticized by both Republicans and Democrats.
Minnesota leaders are also set to testify in front of Congress today. Governor Tim Walz and Attorney General Keith Ellison will answer questions about allegations of widespread fraud of Minnesota's social services program, something that they have been trying to bring to light for years. It's a follow-up to a hearing on the same topic about a month ago. The Justice Department claims criminals have stolen billions in taxpayer funds intended for things like child nutrition programs, Medicaid, and housing for low-income Americans.
Utah Supreme Court will hear arguments today from Gabby Petito's family. They claim the Mo Police Department could have prevented her death. Petito was found dead a few weeks after she and her fiancé were stopped by police following reports of domestic violence. Attorneys for the Petito family say officers should have recognized the signs and symptoms of a domestic violence crisis. They add Gabby would still be alive if officers had done more.
Well, the U.S. Department of Defense has released the identities and photos of 4 Army Reserve soldiers killed in the early hours of the U.S. strikes on Iran. Sergeant First Class Nicole Amor, Sergeant First Class Noah Tietjens, Sergeant Declan Cody, and Captain Cody Cork. The 4 all assigned to the 103rd Sustainment Command out of Des Moines, Iowa, and they were in Kuwait when the port was hit by a drone strike on March 1st.
This is Veterans in Focus, sponsored by the Heil Law Firm, battling for justice, winning for the community.
At least half of all veterans never use the benefits they've earned through service, not because they don't need them, but because the process can feel confusing, overwhelming, or even out of reach. That's why a local group is working to change that and make sure no veteran is left behind.
We all come together to see how we can help each other.
Martin Longoria is the chairman for the Corpus Christi Mayor's Committee for Veterans Affairs. The organization spends the year honoring those who served, but he tells me honoring veterans means more than ceremonies. It means action.
If we don't remember, who will?
A part of remembering is making sure veterans and their families are taken care of. So this month, the group is hosting an informational event focused on veterans' education benefits, breaking down the steps and explaining exactly where to start.
This is an opportunity for them to know, hey, this is what you need to put, to apply for.
From GI Bill guidance to scholarships for vets and their children. If you have any high school seniors graduating in May 2026, or if you're a veteran ready to return to school, the event is designed for you. It's on Saturday, March 14th from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. at the VFW Post on Air Street. And if you're a veteran or you know someone who is, make sure you share this information with them. You can find more details on our website, christv.com.
All right, Alice, neighbors, listen up. You have the unique chance to talk to Neighborhood News reporter Melissa Trevino today. And Melissa will be over at the Salinas Public Library from 10 a.m. until 11 a.m. That's located at 401 East 3rd Street. And whether it's any story ideas, some news tips, or simply to get to know her, she's pretty awesome. This is your chance to let her know about the stories that matter to you from your neighborhood. Well, everyone deserves a spa day, right? Even a great-great-grandma rhino. You heard that correctly. This is Maki. She is an elderly rhino in her 40s, to be exact. Maki gets a mud bath treatment by hand these days over at the courtesy, I should say, of zoo staff. That's because she's no longer physically able to roll in the mud herself and get all of those hard-to-reach places.
Now, this process is known as wallowing, something many other animals do to protect their skin from sun, manage parasites, and to keep themselves cool. But Maki is special. This golden girl gets her gloppy glow up with none of the dirty work. Now, I wonder, how do you get the job of doing this mud bath for the rhino?
And how do you say that to people? Like when they approach you in a bar, hey, what do you do for work? I slather mud on rhinos.
I take care of Maki,
There we go.
Maki deserves all the mud baths they want, I don't think it's going to be too bad for it, but I don't know too much about the animals either. But of course, I do know a little bit more about the weather at least, and it is looking like a fantastic week in terms of weather, just maybe a little bit windy out there for some of us. Here's a live view for our Wednesday morning from our Snoopy's Pier Skycam. Thanks to Matthew CCAC. We are sitting at 73 degrees here, closer to the Laguna Madre, and winds out of the southeast at 16 miles an hour, and a cloudy morning on our hands, but we will start to see more of that sunshine once again later into the mid-morning and late morning hours. As we're getting ready for sunrise, here's a good picture of one of those sunrises. Thank you to Avelino Valadez for sending this one in over there from Texas A&M Kingsville. Just a gorgeous shot if you ask me, and if you get any good shots like this, go on and submit them to our Coastal Bend Weather Watchers group. Might find yours featured on one of our broadcasts. Either way, you're going to see some wonderful photos in that group for sure. Here's where our temperatures are rounding out so far in your neighborhoods this morning. Off to the northwest, Freer coming in at 71 degrees, 73 for Rockport so far this morning, closer to the coast, and 72 what you're waking up to in Ingleside, with also those 70s pretty plentiful across the southern portions of the Coastal Bend. As we're looking at our dog walking forecast today, we've got the man Tater Tot Johnson on the board, looking ready for his walk over there by West Guth Park, and temperatures aren't going to be too bad. I think he'd only complain about the winds maybe today. 81 by 11 a.m., 83 by that 1 p.m. hour, and as we roll into the afternoon, that's where we start to see those winds picking up 20 to 25 miles an hour at times. So as we're getting ready for our Wednesday, you can see the iced coffee forecast definitely calling for a larger one today. It's going to be warm and windy with 85 degrees for that daytime high, but I think what we're all getting excited for is going to be as we start to head closer to the weekend. That's where we're going to start to see better rain chances working back into the area. So here's how it all shapes up on our 7-day forecast. You can see the breezy, warm conditions just about on a rinse and repeat through Friday, 85, 86 degrees. But as we're getting ready to kick off spring break for CCISD by this weekend, that's where we start to see some more rain chances working back into the region. Scattered thunderstorm activity by Saturday night, and that's going to continue as we're going into the next week of March. And it's looking like we could get a good half of an inch to an inch of rain across the area. So a good drink of water on the way for the coastal bend. Of course, over the next 48 to 72 hours is where we're really going to be nailing down the timing, the intensity, and hopefully exactly where some of that rainfall is going to be falling down. But you know, guys, either way, I am getting excited for the thunderstorm chances making their return, I should say.
It's great. It always just comes at such an interesting time, though, because I know the Rockport Fulton Oyster Fest is happening this weekend, and they usually have it outdoors, and it's for such a good cause, too. They're raising money for firefighters in the area, so we're just hoping.
We'll see. I think Saturday might still be okay, so we got our fingers crossed for sure.
And you got to look at the temperatures, too, because as long as they have that tent over there, it's going to be warmer in.
Yes,
right?
yes, that is true.
We like that.
Well, thank you, Stephen. Thank you for tuning in, folks. We'll be back in a little bit with even more news from your neighborhood. And until then, have a great day.